Hello students, myself Satish, Assistant Professor Mechanical in Akshay College of Engineering Technology. Today we are discussing about natural disaster. If we see in general term, a disaster refers to a sudden and catastrophic event that causes significant harm, disruption and distress, resulting in widespread impact on human life, property, infrastructure and the environment. Disasters can be various origins including natural forces, technological failures and human activities. The severity and scale of disasters can ranges from localized incidents affecting a few individuals to large-scale event impacting entire regions or even countries. In that, there are two types: natural disasters and man-made disasters. In this presentation, we are going to see about natural disaster. Natural disaster. The disaster results from natural process and phenomena, typically beyond human control. Some natural disasters like earthquake. Earthquake is a sudden shaking of the ground caused by tectonic movement. If we see, an earthquake is a natural phenomena caused by the sudden shaking or trembling of the earth's surface caused by the movement of tectonic plates beneath the earth's cluster. Earthquake can vary in magnitude and occur in different regions around the world. The release of energy during an earthquake creates seismic wave that propagates through the earth, causing the ground to shake. In that, an earthquake, also known as a quake, tremor or tremblor, is a result of a sudden release of energy in the earth cluster that creates seismic waves. Earthquakes are recorded with a seismometer, also known as seismograph. The moment magnitude or the related and most imperceptible and magnitude 7 causing serious damage over large scale. Intensity of shaking is measured on the modified Mercalli scale. In this earthquake future block diagram, we can able to see tectonic plate movements. The earth outer shell is divided into large rigid plates called tectonic plates. These plates constantly move and interact with each other. Earthquakes often occurs along the boundaries of these plates where they converge, diverge or slides past one another. In that primary P wave travels faster and causes up and down movement. The point within the earth where the earthquake originates is called the focus or hypocenter. The epicenter is the point on the earth's surface directly moves the focus. The severity of an earthquake impact on the surface is often greatest near the epicenter. In that X forces, earthquakes are measured on the Richter scale or the moment magnitude scale. The magnitude represents the energy released during the earthquake. Each whole number increases on the scale significance. A 10-fold increases in amplitude and about 31.6 times more energy released. From the epicenter, the S wave arrives second and moves ground from side to side. This causes the fatigue line movement occurring along here. By that, we can able to see after the main earthquake, smaller earthquake known as aftershock can occur in the same area of the primary wave transverse faster and causes up the down movement. This aftershock can only last for a day, week or even month after the main shock. Now we are seeing about cyclone. Cyclone is the more intense and frequent tropical storm which stronger wind and heavy rainfall leads to storm surge and widespread destruction. In that, cyclone is an area of closed circular fluid motion rotation in the same direction as the earth. This is the usually characterized by inward spiraling wind that rotates counterclockwise in northern hemisphere and clockwise in the southern hemisphere of the earth. Most large-scale cyclonic circulation are centered on the area of low atmospheric pressure. The largest pressure systems are cold core, polar cyclones and extratropical cyclones, which leads on the synoptic scale. In that, warm cyclone core such as tropical cyclone, mesocyclone and polar lowers lies within the smaller mesoscale. Subtropical cyclones are of intermediate size. Upper level cyclones can exist without the presence of lower surface and can pitch off from the base of the tropical upper tropospheric through during the summer month in the northern hemisphere. Cyclones have also been seen on another planet outside of the earth such as Mars and Neptune. For example, we can able to see it in a picture. Here, cyclone forming creates a powerful spinning storm that contains strong wind and air. Next, in the natural disaster, we are going to see about flood. A flood is a natural disaster that occurs when an area is inundated by water, either due to heavy rainfall, snow melt, storm surge, or the failure of water control structures like dams or levees. Also, floods can cause significant damage to property, infrastructure, and natural resources, as well as pose threats to human lives and environment. This is the form of water is a form of all life forms. Without water, no life is sustainable. But when water is in the form of flood, it takes away thousands of human and cattle life. For example, Bangladesh is a riverine country where recurrent flooding is both common and necessary. Every year, larger areas are submitting during the monsoon season and fertilized by deposits of fresh aluminium. The solid is deposited by moving water. However, if water remains stagnant for too long, this beneficial floods becomes a major disaster. Most vulnerable things which are affected due to floods are your home, building and huts made from biomass materials like bamboo leaves. Here we can able to see a pictorial representation of the flood. In next we are going to see about volcanic eruption. A volcanic is an opening or rupture in the planet's surface or cluster which allows hot magma, ash and gases to escape from below the surface. The word volcano is derived from the name of volcano, island of Sicily, which in turn was named after Vulcan, the Roman god of fire. We can see as a volcanic eruption, as in this picture we can able to see the lava and magma which are coming out of the earth clusters. Now we are going to see about fires as a natural disaster. Fire in the content of disaster refers to unconditional and destructive fire that spreads rapidly, causing extensive damage to property, ecosystem and human life. Fire can occur naturally as well as or result from human activities such as industrial accidents, arson, improper handling of flammable material. Fire disasters possess significant risk to communities wildlife, and the environment. Here, a wildlife is any uncontrolled fire that occurs in the countryside or wilderness area. Other names such as brush fire, bushfire, forest fire, grass fire, hill fire, peat fire, vegetation fire, and wildland fire may be used to describe the same phenomena depending on the type of vegetation being burned. A wildfire differs from other fires by its extensive size, the speed at which it can spread out from its original source, and its ability to change direction unexpectedly and to jump gaps such as road, river, and fire breaks. Wildlife are categorized in terms of the other causes of ignition, their physical properties such as speed of propagation, the combustible material presence, and the effects of weather on the fire. In the upcoming picture, we can able to see the forest fire which occurs in the places. Now we are seeing about the topic landslide. A landslide is a geological event in which a mass of rock, solid, or debris moved down a slope, often triggered by various factors such as heavy rainfall, earthquake, volcanic activity, human activity, or changes in the natural environment. Landslides can occur on hills, mountains, coastal cliffs, or any steep terrain where gravity overcomes the strength and stability of the slope material. Here, this includes wider range of ground movements such as risk falls, deep failure of slopes, and shallow debris flows which can occur in offshores, coastal, and onshore environment. The main causes are groundwater pressure acting to destabilize the slope, loss or absence of vertical vegetative structure, soil, nutrients, and erosions of toe of a slope by river or ocean waves. For example, in the upcoming picture, we can see the landslide. Now we are seeing about droughts. Drought is a prolonged period of below average precipitation or water availability in a particular region result in water scarcity, reduced soil moisture, and decreased water level in river, lakes, and groundwater. Droughts can have significant impact on agriculture, ecosystem, water supplies, and communities, leading to crop failure, flood shortage, and environmental degradation. This picture is an example. Now we are going to see in a natural disaster famines. Famines is a wider spread of scarcity in food that may be applied to any faunal species. This phenomena is usually accompanied by regional malnutrition, starvation, epidemic, and increased mortality. Here, this scarcity is created because of the famines. To reduce this kind of disaster risk reductions, we have to set some goals to create no poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, clear water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, decent work and economical growth, industry innovation infrastructures, reduced inequalities, sustainable cities and communities, climate action, life on land, peace, justice and strong institution, partnership of the goals. Disaster risk reduction requires collaboration and partnership between the government, non-governmental organizations, private sectors, and communities to achieve the sustainable development goals. In today's section, we learned about natural disasters. Thank you, guys.